Icy cold, it is so icy cold. Mixing the chill, Mixing the cheddar with cheese, making that money get more. I just a fish on a boat. Herbido, show. Ooh. Mixing the water with cheese and making that money get more. Mixing the water with cheese and making that money get more. Mixing the water with cheese and making that money get more. Oh man, how do I trash this? Alrighty then. So check 2212. So I kind of So I kind of cheated on this right here. I've already got the bass. There's this weird clicking that I can't pin down. Anyways, these are the notes to the bass, and actually the bass plays for, what is this, 16 bars in this intro section right here. This is the original track right here, and it's not super obvious, but if you filter out all the high end, you'll hear, oh, sorry. So you'll actually hear those notes being played in the bass. So that's what this is here for. Take my hat off. Oh man. All right. So this might fail horribly, but you know what, actually before I do this, let me just show you the drums. So we've got this. So here's the bass line. Where am I? And here's what I did for that little snare roll there. I might have cut out a little too much low end here. And it's not here actually, it's in the, put a high pass on this somewhere. Why did I do this? So I did that, and let me turn this down a little bit. Cool. And you know what, this is clipped even more. Okay, I see what I was, and this, so here I actually turned up the attack. I should turn this down. And then, yeah, I'll just clip this and gate it, and that'll be a lot closer. So I think what they did in the track is they just had a nice snare sample, and they just did, it's just a chromatic. So for the sample that I was using, it started off on a high E, and just every single snare hit is just another half step down, and it's just triplets. Hit them with that triplet grid, and we go. Oh. So that's the snare roll. It's just chromatic, just all the way down for 4 bars. And the way that I tried to get that snare sound that they did, I feel like they just used a single sample and pitched it across 6 notes, but I could not, in all of my samples that I have, could not find a snare that sounded just like that. So I tried to make my own, and it got pretty close. It definitely gives you the same effect, the same epic feeling. So what I did here is I have this snare. Just kind of giving you like that more of a smack sound. And this one is giving you like that punchy, like the really toned, the very tuned sound to the drum that the snare roll has in the original track. That toned, that note sound is coming from this sample. And what I did to this, this sample. And what I did to this is I just boosted the highs a lot because there's a lot of highs. It sounds really splashy in the record. I high passed it and put resonance on it, so you really accentuate that toned quality, that tuned quality to the drum. And I tossed a delay on it and slid it back about 5.5 milliseconds, so that this snare right here will play first. And then 5 milliseconds after that, the next sample will play, which will give it a, I don't know how to describe it. It's not quite a flam, because both of the snares aren't really audible. It sounds like it's just one hit. I don't know, it just gives it this like kind of a ghost hit effect where this snare just comes in a tiny bit before and kind of sneaks in, and it's like a little crescendo into the main big fat tuned snare. So I gotta come up with a better way to explain that, but this simple delay just gets you a sound. I'll turn it off so you see what I'm talking about. So that's cool. But if you listen to the record, there's something interesting going on in the transients there at the very beginning of the snare hit. And you can recreate that by using 2 snare samples. Just a really smacky one, and this one probably should have boosted the highs on this one a little more. Just let it ring out. You know what, that might, okay, let's try that. But anyways, that's how I recreated that snare sample. I have this snare sample playing, this snare sample. And it's just super high passed, just letting a lot of the highs come through, and it's a lot lower in volume as well. And all that it's doing is serving as a intro accent drum to this main tuned snare right here. And these are playing the exact same parts. So we have, here, I'll zoom in here so you can see. Just drag the notes around to tune them to your ear. If you want these snare samples, I can link them somewhere. Just let me know if you want those. So let me turn. that delay back on. It just gives you that sound. It just makes it smack harder. It makes that second snare smack harder. So that's a snare roll. Let's see, what else is here? Oh, and then, so we do this thing with the bass. Yeah, check them out. I'm assuming number now. Ain't. And what that is, this I did just use a hi-hat sample. This is just a hi-hat. This was from a free Metro Boomin kit that somebody on Reddit actually saw Mike Dean using this exact kit. And I know Travis Scott works with Mike Dean a lot, and I actually thought that he produced this first part, but it turns out he didn't. I was looking at the credits on Genius, and it was some guys I've never actually heard of before. But yeah, this is a really cool kit. Very commercial sounds. It's Metro Boomin influenced, as you can tell by the name. And I can link this too if you're interested, but it's just a hi-hat. It's a MB hi-hat 5. Just a hat. All I did was high pass it a little bit. What's more interesting here to me is the pattern. And actually, I haven't chosen a good kick sample for this yet. This was just kind of a placeholder so I could get the rhythm in, but and actually, I'm not far off with this. That's funny. I picked this just like listening to my laptop speakers, but it's actually pretty dang close. Yeah, that's from that same Metro Boomin pack, man. This kick is doing it. I just low passed it a little bit more, around 1000. Usually I like to turn the resonance up when I'm low passing kicks to just make it a bit, it'll just knock a little bit harder. But I think they did do that in the, actually I can't even hear the difference. Let me turn my volume up a bit. I really don't hear a difference. There might just not be a lot happening at that. This one definitely makes it knock harder with the steeper filter, but I don't know. Let me listen. Let me do my little filter dance. What are you doing here? Get out of here. Yeah, So it's actually a little bit higher. I'm gonna try cutoff of 2000. Some. Oh, that's better. Okay, I'm I'm good with that kick. That sounds really close to the original record. And this, okay, so this snare, just a basic 808 snare. Is this also from the, man, I pulled this from the Metro pack too. And yeah, that sounds pretty good. Just needs a little bit of decay there at the end to cut off the tail, and that sounds pretty dang close. I might need to pitch it up. And maybe clip it a little bit more. Maybe that's not the, maybe this snare isn't quite correct. Whoops. Stop. Weird. I thought at first this was just going to be an 808 snare, but it's sounding a little different to me now. Oh wait, it was there. Gold Baby has really great 808 samples. What? Maybe this one. Okay, this one. And we do a little whoa, what? A little switcheroo here. There it is. That's a little better. Maybe I just raise the highs a little bit and call that one. This one might be two snares too. You know what? This might be just the same snare. It's right here. Just used on a different note. So maybe Maybe it's not a different snare sample in this part of the track. Maybe it's just the same snare used in the snare roll, pitched to a different note, which would lie somewhere around here on what? Oh, on beat 3 of this. Beat 3, there it is, and then nope. What the? It's weird. Okay, let's try that. Just copy that. And okay. You know what? It is the same snare. I don't know why I'm getting crazy and trying to pick out another snare. It's the same one. And it might be... Man, I need to title these better. Call this tuned snare. Splash snare. Okay. Okay. And now this one has to be tuned. What is it here? Oops. So now I need that same drum sample, sorry, that same note in the other sample. So this one's A3, this one is F3, to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How's this sound? What? Why are you not cooperating with me? You know what? I was better off with the other snare, with just the 808. Undo. See, this is one of the big problems with recreating beats is it's so hard to get the exact sound, and even if you get what seems like the exact sound in one spot, you might just be being tricked because some of the intricacies of the sound are getting hidden away by the mix. So you'll run into stuff like this where you're like, oh, I totally nailed that sound. And then you go to a different section and you hear it's the same sound from earlier, but you can't match it using the sound that you just made. So that sucks. Let's just keep going. Let's try again. Sounds good. This new Gold Baby sample I just tossed in, so I'm gonna keep that and get rid of these guys. Sorry guys. So this is super close now. Now this shaker. So my shaker is admittedly a little wonky on this one because so this is the rhythm, and the velocity as well. It's just low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high velocity. So it alternates between low and high on every note. It's just eighth notes. And dude, I don't know what my deal is with shakers, but I can never get them to sound quite the way I want them. It's very rare that I make a shaker pattern that I like. But this is from a super old drum kit, BK Bangers. Just low passed a little bit because it sounded kind of ridiculous before. And then I warped it a little bit using Ableton's tools to try and make it sound just longer, but yeah, so I mean the shaker is pretty similar in tone. It's just the dynamics of it. I wish this was a little more legato. I wish it was a little bit of a longer shaker sample. And if I wanted to, I could, I guess, pop it out of here and use Complex Pro and just stretch it out the tiniest bit. But honestly, when you hear it with the rest of the drums, you can't really tell too much of a difference. And I might even high pass it a little bit more and make it a little grimier with the time machine here. That sounds good to me. And then I've got this boost at 1700 just to give it that, and a cut at, what is that, around 8000. Because at 8000 there was a lot of brightness, and 1700 just sounds like it was, sorry, what is this? 1700-ish. Just sounded like a dark, gritty, just has this grittiness to it where I boosted here that I was hearing in the record. So the shaker sounds really like just like super gritty and a little abrasive, but it's quiet, so it doesn't bother you. It's just like, it just makes the beat hard. So I boosted up at 1800 to get that tone. And I might lower the volume a little more. That's good. So yeah, that's the drums, and then the bass line is just kind of doing its old thing here. D sharp, D, D sharp, F. And these notes are stupid low. These are like ridiculously low bass notes to be playing. But what's cool about playing super low notes with a saw wave patch or like a square wave patch is it gives you this really cool rumbling, low dark rumbling sound. And that totally fits with Travis's vibe, so it's really cool choice with by him and his producers there. And yeah, rhythms are nothing too special here. Just mostly wanted to show you the sounds that I was using and how I got to them. So we've got a kick, snare, kick, 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 snare. And this right here is just a man, what was this? I think these are 30-second triplets. No, 16 triplets. So the tempo that I'm at, and I think the song is exactly at too, is 139 beats per minute. And at 139 beats per minute, hit that 1/16 grid, get that, and then turn that into triplets. So you've got 1/16 note triplets, and you will just, I mean, this is the rhythm. So you start off on one, triplet, triplet, triplet to one is that rhythm. Triplet to one, this is not on, this is on another 16th note. Triplet to one, so it's a 16th triplet, upbeat triplet, downbeat, which sounds so stupid and nerdy, but when you say it that way, but man, when you just go you're like, oh, that's hard. Hi-hat's same exact rhythm. Well, no hi-hat on one, but for this little triplet jounage, that is the same rhythm as the kick. Same thing. Just nothing on this downbeat. I mean, you can see the MIDI. You see where the notes are being played. And yeah, just snare. And then what's super interesting to me is it has this really dry, bright sounding snare. And for the first three, for the first right here, and then it goes to a pretty dark, roomy sounding clap. It's a lot of super reverbed, which is really cool. Oh man, yeah, like that snare just goes, just builds that tension, and then the kick drums help build that tension, and then this big cavernous clap. Someone just claps in an echo chamber and it releases all that tension. And then yeah, and then the beat switches into the next act, which is, yeah, I love this intro right here. The verb is not as present as I'd like it to be, but yeah, so there might be no pre-delay on this. Oh, I just have the reverb on the track. Come on. What are you doing? Wake up. Thank you. That sounds better. I might turn up the late diffusion. Yeah, that's more what I was hearing. Yeah. Yes, that's the sound. Uh, maybe like 3,000, somewhere in the middle. Yeah, that's good. Maybe less lows. Try it. Yeah, a little less too. So yeah, those are the drums, and this clap, nothing special. The snare, not really anything special, just a good 808 sample. 808 snare drum, that is. 808 is a drum machine, not the sound of a bass. God. And yeah, just a little clap. I think this is, geez, where did I get this clap from? I think this was from some Pierre Bourne type drum kit I found on Reddit. And it's just called Basic Clap. Not sure why I downloaded this, but it sounds pretty good. Where is it? Oh, it's just this clap. And then I high passed it a lot with 24 pole filter. High passed it around 1,000 to cut out a lot of that low end mud. Going straight into the reverb, I used a plate here because the verb sounds super smooth to me on the record and has a little of a, it just sounds too smooth to be anything other than a plate. The reverb on the clap, that is. And yeah, I don't want to walk you through these settings one by one because it's really not that important. The clap is there for so little. You just need a lot of plate reverbs could work in this place right here. Do I have 2 of these? Oh, that's weird. I have 2 plates stacked on top of each other. But oh man. You know what? I'm gonna have to delete one of these because it's gonna bother me that I have 2 plates on top of each other. Alright, I'll just turn the mix on this one up. What is 30? 26. So we'll increase 6. I think this will sound right. Oh. Why did I do that? And you know what? This is crazy. I already had the sound. For some reason, when I was making this a few days ago, like a week ago, I stacked 2 plates on top of each other, and it got me the sound. That's what I was hearing at the time. Not sure why I did it now, because I'm super tired, but shout out to past me, because 2 reverbs on top of each other totally give you that same vibe in the track. And then a little cut at 3,000 because it was just annoying. It just goes from like a eh to a oh sound. It just darkens up the whole tone of that clap, which if you listen to the record right here, the clap is really like a, not like a, it's more like a. So that's what that cut at 3,000 does, is it turns it into that sound. Wow, yeah, that's all the drums. And now, and the bass as well. I'm gonna copy this now, this bass line. Here. Do I, oh man. Next is right there, why is it not being read? You know what if, oh chips. This is probably gonna. Oh man, I installed it here, so I think if I try and pop open Ableton again, it's not gonna be able to find it. But and Nexus might also be 32-bit. I don't remember. But somebody, what was his name? I am Dice. Told me the sound that he used, and dude, it's. I think it's literally the exact same sound from what's it called? This guy. Shout out this guy. I emailed him and I was like, yo, what sound did you use in what sound did you use in your remake of that SICKO mode? And he told me it was a patch in Nexus. So I want to try that out. That's why I'm trying to get Nexus working right now. So I'm not sure if it's 32-bit or 64-bit or what, but I haven't used this crap in a long time. Plugins, Nexus, yeah, Nexus 64. So scan that, please. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see what that does. I have no display. There it is. Oh man, I hope that didn't black out for too long. Well, alright. Let's try this again. Oh wait, I shouldn't have done that. I should go here. Sorry, Ableton. Wait, how's that line go? When I'm in the 305, is it Jerry like Uncle Lou? Don't stop, money. Dang, this album is so fire, man. I can't believe Travis hit us with this. Like, it really is continuing the legacy of Rodeo. Cause Birds in the Trap sings McKnight. It's Travis Scott copies Kid Cudi so much that he even gave one of his middle albums with a ton of potential one of the worst names for an album ever and made it complete garbage. Like, that's how much of a stan Travis Scott is of Kid Cudi. Like, this dude is literally like copy pasting moves out of the Cutter's playbook. And I don't know why, because it wasn't a good move. I mean, Speed and Bullet to Heaven, my dude. Like, okay, I shouldn't talk shit because that's actually a really cool name. And I love this. I love the album art for this because it reminds me of the Mr. Krabs meme. Oh my god, it's literally the same. Anyways, yeah, Travis really came through on this a million times better compared to McKnight. So much more focused, so much more, it's even got more variety. The features, of course, like, you don't even need to mention the features. Everyone knows the features on this thing are insane. And yeah, Travis just really came through on this one. Let's see if Nexus shows up now. I'm guessing it doesn't. You know what? If it doesn't, I think I'm just gonna, yeah. Ableton's not liking Nexus at all. Oh, wait, maybe it is. I think my roommates are home. I'm gonna close my door. In the 305, it's dreamy like I'm Uncle Lou. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this stream off pretty soon because it's really late and I should have eaten an hour ago because I'm trying to do intermittent fasting now. Not trying to do, well, trying to do because obviously I'm eating outside of my feeding window right now, but so. Oh, did Nexus load? I didn't even see. Is there anyone even watching this? Is there someone in the chat to back me up, see if Nexus loaded? Okay, it's faster to just see if Nexus is here. Nexus. Nexus? Hey! Nice, man. It's even scanning. Wait, is it finding them or is it? Is it just searching my entire damn hard drive or is it actually looking through the Nexus content folder? Yes! Alright, sick. Man, I installed this off my old freaking hard drive. Didn't want to put this on my new computer, but you know what? It's what I got the hard drive for. To install VSTs that I rarely use. Okay, so he said it was in Oregon's. No, do I need to finish for this? Do I need to let this finish searching? Man. Oh man, oh man. Well, I don't even know what to show you right now. A really cool thing that I learned from this, because I'm definitely still learning, this was one of the first really... I was really scared to try and remake this. The bass sounded so unique, like nothing I'd ever done before. At first I was like, oh, it's just that warm saws, like Drake type bass, you know, where you just have a saw wave and low pass it. But I listened to it more and more and it's like, no, it's got... It just had such an interesting texture to it, and especially when it went up into the high notes, when it goes boo boo beep 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 boo. I sang the wrong notes there, but when it goes boo beep, right there, it just has that super resonant, like it's hitting a resonant peak in the filter sound. And there's this other track that I really like that does that, where the 808 just has this sick resonant peak, and when the bass hits that note where the filter's resonance peak is, I don't even know how to describe it, man. It's crazy. It's oh, it's Trey Capital. Yeah, I know I spelled that wrong. Thank God that we made it. And actually, I think this one, they sampled a super resonant 808 and then played that all up and down, because that 808 in this track has the super resonant quality that I'm talking about, like on every hit. So maybe that's what they did there. I don't know. But yeah, the bass in SICKO mode part 1 had that same resonant quality when it goes up into these high notes. And so I was like, damn. You know what? I think I can do this. I think I'll finally figure out what that sound is. And yeah, that sound is just tossing a filter on, giving it some resonance, and specifically this one, I used the Moog filter. I think I'm pretty sure the German low pass in Serum is a Moog style filter. But yeah, just a cutoff pretty low, but not as low as I thought it was. At first I was trying like around 300, 400. That's not the sound. The sound is more in like 800, just around 800, to give you that boom, like that overtone quality to the bass. So that was a really cool lesson I learned when I was trying to make that bass patch. Another big thing that I learned was right here, this trick, where I just low pass stuff, and I use with a pretty good amount of resonance, so I can hear when stuff is starting to get cut off by the filter. And what that lets me do is hear where the original producers started to filter their drums and other sounds. So like in the beginning, whoa. Oh, it's this guy. That guy's farting. So in the beginning of the track, like I would not have heard that bass unless I tossed this filter on. So I was like, that doesn't just sound like organs. It sounds like something else is going on down there. And then you low pass it, and you hear at the very, very bottom of the frequency spectrum is just this bass playing almost the same notes, you know, just in a little different order. And it's just super quiet. And you would have never known that if you hadn't or I would have never known that unless you low passed. Because it's just such a subtle detail, but that's one of those things that a lot of producers miss when they're trying to remake beats. So yeah, that low passing and high passing at different parts of the song to make sure you're getting everything in the frequency spectrum that the original producers put in, that was a really big lesson that I took away from this remake. Let's see if Nexus is loaded now. Yes, it is. We want flip. Organs is not an option. Is there a search here? God, I haven't used this crap in so long. I haven't used this since I was like trying to make Lex Luger type beats in like sophomore year of high school when Lex Luger was already old news. I got into this stuff late, man. Oh well. I love it, so I'll keep doing it. Whoa, please don't look at my emails. It's this guy. Did I not send him this? Oh, yeah, I did. Nexus organ pad. Thank you. Shout out Dices. Shout out Dices, man. Let's look for organ pad. Organ pad, organ pad, organ pad. How's my stream doing? We good? We good. All right, where is organ pad? Open saws. There's gotta be a search. Yes, ABC, please. Organ pad. Maybe, no, it's not gated pad. Piano? Oh wait, this is in ABC mode. This one's alphabetical. Okay. MS, nope. We want, let's try this one again. These are all pads, okay. And, no, what? God, I hate this, okay. No way it's in bass. Is this the Lil Pump sound? It is. No wonder I heard ping pong delay on it. I forget that ping pong is the default in. And just toss them. That's funny. Okay, that's not what we're looking for now, though. Organ bass? I swear to God. Oh, no. Oh. Definitely see Travis using something like that. I see Travis using all these sounds. Okay, well, it's not here. Keep on moving. Don't stop grooving. Keep on moving. Don't stop grooving. Back, back, forth, forth, back. Lo-fi roads. Yikes. Man. Nexus organ pad. Single layer pads, maybe? Okay, these are all pads. Let's look for A, B, C, D, F, G, P. Man, P to S. Oh, man. You know what? I think Dice has pranked me. I think Dice didn't want me to know his secrets. Because I can't find frickin' organ pad anywhere here. I don't think it exists. These are good, bro. Man. An organ pad. Not organ pad. Jeez. I'm telling you, man, I need to eat. Oh, I got a text. What? I texted that to my Oh, someone's Snapchat me. Dude, are you serious? There's no way to search. This is Skyrim. Okay. Well, how about we just pick a pad. just moved into my new place, and there was some freaking roaches literally in that drawer right there. And I freaked out. There was 3 of them, and I think 2 of them were dead, but still, I saw 3 roach bodies. And I freaked out, and I tossed a roach bait in there, just like a grenade. It's like, clear! Slammed the door shut. So I'm a little paranoid over there that they're gonna hop out and fight me, but we've been good. Zoom pianos. He pranked me, man. Organ pad is not... Organ pan is not a patch in Nexus. Oh, did he download a Nexus patch? Like a Nexus plugin? Oh, I block Reddit so that, well, that's not important. Can I look for organs at least? Is there a... Can a brother get an organ patch, please? Where can I find the organs? Here is some bass. Here's an organ bass. We play this high. Let me turn this filter. It's kind of... Okay, actually listening right now, the bass is pretty obvious that it's there in the beginning. But when I was making this late at night, I was like hearing something down there low, and then the filter made it super clear. But, I mean, the filter made it super clear. So, I guess you could have heard that bass without a filter on it, but still, I don't know. I felt like it was a helpful lesson is to use that filtering. The idea of using filtering to help you figure out where producers filter different sounds in the track that you're referencing, that concept is still super useful. Anyways, let's try and figure out this organ sound. So there's... Oh, wait, is it? Oh, This is the filter modifier I want, amp. You know what? Are there 3 sounds? No, it's just the organ. It's just the organ and then the little bell chime type sound. But you know what? Man, to try and figure out those chords is going to take me a while, so I'm going to have to cut this off here. I really have to eat right now. But, you know what? Learning experience, take lessons away from everything you do, even if you can't finish it all the way to the end. And big tricks that I learned from here, from replicating these sounds, were snare roll. Have 2 snares playing at the same time. One kind of smacky with a little bit of attack added in to add a lead in to the big splashy snare. Big fat tuned snare, I should say. And this snare, so that the other snare can lead into it properly, just add a little delay on it, 5 milliseconds, 10 milliseconds. And yeah, and then compress it and clip it all so it sounds super glued together and really punchy. Trap drums have a lot of clipping on them typically, so that was a cool little sound I made that I might use in the future. You never know. Another thing, big thing that I learned, this resonant filter trick. If you want that resonant bass sound, just choose some dark sounding waveforms and crank that resonance super high, somewhere around 800 till stuff starts sounding cool, of course. And you can brighten up. If it sounds too dark, just brighten it up with some drive. Another thing, if you're hearing multiple reverbs, use multiple reverbs. Don't try and get it all in one patch. If you can get the sound easier with 2 reverbs, obviously try it with 1. But if you're getting nowhere with 1 and it just sounds like it's 2 rooms glued together, it might be. They might have used a clap sample with a room verb already, rendered into the clap sample. Or they might have just used 2 sends or 2 reverbs, so you never know. Whatever gets you the sound, gets you the sound. Oh yeah, this tension release thing with the snare and then the big roomy, the super dry, hard-hitting snare, and then the boomy clap. Not boomy, but I guess boomy is the best word I can think of right now. This like that sound is really cool. I love that tension there. What else? Big lessons. This is just a cool rhythm here. Very different from the typical trap, like 1, 3, it was a cool little pattern here. Love that. Love the hi-hats hitting with the snare, with the kick at the exact same time. Cool effect. And yeah, oh yeah, and this little trick of just having a bass line at the intro and just turning the volume down a whole lot. It actually sounds like the drive is down too in the original track. But that was a cool way of making an intro. I liked that a lot. Yeah, so unfortunately, this is a bit of a fail. I need to retitle this, man. Need to retitle this from... Whoa. From remake to remake fail. Or lesson learned. Because... Attempt. Got the drums. Organs eluded me. Got the drums. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Attempt. Failure. Got the drums. Organs eluded me. Learned a lot. Cool. I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that. All right. Well, it's been real. Thank you, exactly 0 people for watching, and for posterity. I'm Luis Gomez. There are 3 roaches, which may be dead or alive, in the desk right behind me. I'm gonna go eat a bean and cheese burrito. Peace out.